What's going on, everybody? Get the Raging Rob here. Um, well, the prosecution has rested their case against Kyle Rittenhouse. I just watched a 24-minute video. This is from the New York Times. Seems they're trying to fit kind of a narrative. This is coming from the New York Times, so I don't trust it 100%. But this 24-minute video I watched, I'm going to post a link in the description below. You can tell me what you think. It was basically focusing on what happened on the night of August 25th, 2020 in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Black Lives Matter protesters out there, the police moving in, and what happened with the shooting. Graphic video. Yeah, they went in pretty good detail. Not that I can trust anything from the New York Times, fake media, but I'm going to be honest, they did a pretty good job on this. They went into real detail, on both sides. So take a look at it. I'll post a link in the description below. It's a 24-minute video if you want to take a look at it. Goes in pretty depth. Kyle Rittenhouse, his prosecution. The prosecution is rested, so now we just wait and pray. And I just keep looking over these videos, and I cannot come up with any other thing than this was self-defense. But I found some other details on the first victim. I don't want to say victim, but the first guy that was killed, the first guy that was shot by Kyle. Somebody in the crowd looks like they pulled out a gun and fired. I don't know if they fired a warning shot, but it was somebody else. It wasn't Kyle, but it was somebody else that fired that first shot. So maybe Kyle thought he was he was under attack. Some say it was a plastic bag. I don't know for sure, but the guy that he shot, he was seen earlier that night trying to pick a fight with the militia. And he was begging the militia to shoot him. So there's that factor. And there's the factor that somebody in the crowd, I don't know if they caught the guy or not, probably not, but somebody in the crowd was shooting off a gun near Kyle when the other guy attacked him. So maybe Kyle thought that the guy that was attacking him was trying to shoot him. I mean, you got to put yourself in his shoes, So that could be a possibility. If that's not the case, then maybe Kyle is guilty of negligent homicide for the first guy. The second and third people that were shot, that was pure self-defense. There was no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Trying to hit somebody in the head with the skateboard. Those skateboards are pretty hard. Antifa. I'm not saying the guy that hit him was Antifa, but Antifa is known for carrying skateboards around. So, and I went to a lot of protests in Michigan, and I've seen a few guys that look kind of edgy. And what did I see? Skateboards. So, those skateboards are deadly weapons if you use them right. I'll be honest. You can kill somebody with that. If you hit them in the head hard enough with a skateboard, you can kill somebody with that. Head injury. Oh yeah, definitely. But anyway, I'm on if I can zoom in. That sign says welcome to Mississippi or whatever. I'm in Mississippi now. I'll probably be coming across New Orleans tonight. But anyway, I'm down there off whatever. Just came out of Mobile, Alabama a little while ago. But anyway, yeah. Also a seventh charge. There was a curfew in place that night. I don't think the police charged anybody, but I guess there was another charge against Kyle, a seventh charge. It was a curfew violation, which the judge dropped. But so he still has the 6 other charges against him. At the bare minimum, I see Kyle maybe getting convicted of negligence homicide on the first shooting and illegally carrying a firearm across state lines as a minor. Maybe the first person that was shot, that possibly could be negligent homicide for the simple fact that Kyle didn't know if the guy had a gun or not because somebody in the crowd was shooting. At the bare minimum, that could be negligent homicide. My thoughts exactly, and I know this might piss some people off on my side, but I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think Kyle should have been there that night. I don't think he should have been there. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm not saying he, he went there on his own. I understand he was trying to do a good thing as a medic, trying to protect businesses. It is your constitutional right to protect businesses. But 17 years old, maybe I'm wrong. That was a big responsibility of him to do what he did. And maybe he just stepped up the ladder a little too quick. So, but tell me what you think. I don't think he should have been there, being that, 17 and, maybe, the guy is a good shot. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is really experienced at firearms at 17. And that's great. And if that's the case, then maybe he should have been there. But I have mixed feelings about him being there that night. Obviously we need the militia. The militias are the defenders of this country. Absolutely. So yeah, we need the militia there. But that's tragic what happened for the victims. Nobody should have died that night. That was horrible. A lot of fucked up shit happened that night. But anyway, check out the link in the description below. There are some people, New York Times, they're kind of pushing the race card a little bit. Oh, the militia, they're all white. And, oh, you had protesters that were black in the crowd. Well, there was a lot of white protesters, too. I don't see skin colors. The fact is, they got a right to be there, protest police injustice. That is their constitutional right. So I'm not saying that the protesters should not have been there. But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And I know the militia was there trying to protect businesses from getting burned down. I think that if the militia was not there, it would have been probably more chaos. It probably would have, Minneapolis was pretty much chaos. And what did you have in Minneapolis? You didn't have the militia. They came in later. I was at Minneapolis. I got videos to prove it. In a full-blown riot. I seen what happened. They overtook the police station, and I was there the night they overtook the police station, and I watched it firsthand. And the cops, and there was no police, no National Guard, no militia. No control whatsoever. And I watched business after business get burned down to the ground right before my eyes. And I seen what can happen when you got no control over a situation. It's a bunch of radicals. They take over the city. They burn it down. That's what happened in Minneapolis. I got video of it. No control whatsoever in the situation. And that's how bad it was. I was out there at almost 3 a.m. catching video. That night that they overtook the police station in Minneapolis. 3rd Precinct. That is a night I'll never forget. When I got back to my motel room that night, I can't even explain that the feeling that was going through my head. My head was pounding so hard. It was just, it was a feeling in my head that I never felt before. When I took a shower the next morning, I had this weird color orangey shit coming out of my hair. I know what it was. It was fucking tear gas. That was during the daytime. I got to Minneapolis that day during the daytime. And they were, the Minneapolis police, they were tear gassing the crowd like we got tear gas to hell. I'm going to say that right now. So much tear gas in the air. My eyes were burning 3 or 4 times, 5 times. I had my eyes burned. I was there to catch YouTube videos, and it was complete chaos. I was there for many hours that day. The smell of tear gas in the air, got it in my hair, got it in my eyes, got it up my nose. I could taste it in my mouth. It was horrible. It was absolutely fucking horrible. It was an experience I'll never forget. And then I went out there the next day. They had some protests at the 5th Precinct Police Station. And the next day, things were a lot more calmer. The National Guard was there. on standby. They put out a curfew. I was off the street. The next day that I was off the street, I broke curfew by like 20 minutes, and that's because I couldn't get out of the city in time. But the next day I broke curfew. I was out. The curfew was 8 p.m. I was off the street by 8:20. I left the city at 8:20, went back to my hotel. The third day I left. The third day I was there like half the day. So, but about 3 days I was in Minneapolis, and let me just say, it was an experience I'll never forget. So I still had the ringing in my head to this day. It's just absolutely insane. So I've been in the middle of riots. I've been in the middle of chaos when shit goes down. And these protesters were there in Kenosha when shit went down. And when shit goes down like that, you don't understand. You know, a lot of people watch my videos and think, well, I'd do this if I was there and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, I was there. Not in Kenosha, but in Minneapolis. I was on the ground in the middle of the chaos in Minneapolis. And I will tell you this. You don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. I will say that. You say you're going to do one thing, but until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react. I'm going to say that right now. I was there when shit was happening. The thoughts that are going through my head was, I can't even, things that I couldn't even process mentally. It was just, I had so much going through my head that night. That itself was giving me a headache. So, all you people say, oh, I would have done this, or I would have done that. No, you don't know until you're there. I was there. I was in that situation where you don't know if you're going to come out alive. You don't know what's going to happen the next minute. You know, there's tear gas everywhere. There's fires everywhere. Buildings burning down everywhere. I was in the middle of that shit in Minneapolis. Let me tell you, you don't know how you're going to react to that until you're in that situation. You know, I went into that situation to get some video. I had no idea that all that shit was going to happen. And as the night fell, it got crazier and crazier. It just kept getting crazier. So, you don't know how you're going to react when you're in that situation. I just want to put that out. So, these protesters that are in Kenosha, you know, they reacted a certain way, you know. In a way, I can't blame them. Because I've been in that position. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. Prayers up.